Good morning everyone, this is George Bayruthi from FS Securities giving you the overnight market update for Wednesday the 13th of August 2014. First of all, who we are. We're a stockbroking firm located on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia, and a bit more about the company later in this presentation. But let me start with a disclaimer. Everything I say here today is for general information and general advice only. And before you take any action, please consult your professional advisor or talk to us directly. Or if you want to receive a copy of this disclaimer, all you have to do is call us and we'll send it to you by email. First of all, let me start with our what we call the editorial education. And today we continue with our options series. We are now in part 12. We talk about a strategy that we use here at FS Securities, the iron condor construction, that particular very important strategy that we use here. Of course, there are 11 parts that have been put on a daily basis, and prior to that we had almost 10-part series on futures contract. Should you wish to receive a copy or get information about those two series, all you have to do is go to the website, subscribe as a 15-day free trial member, and you will see all the information on the website. Let me start with the market report. And what we have here now is that overnight and from around the globe, we start with Wall Street, where we've seen the US stocks ending slightly lower, pressured by a slide in energy shares and worries over developments in Russia and the Ukraine. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 10 points or less than 0.1% to 16,560. The broader S&P 500 fell 0.2% to 1,934. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index that comprises several European major markets fell 0.8% and finished at 3,023. In London, the FTSE 100 index was flat, around 6,632. In Japan, the index rose 0.2%, and in China, the index fell 0.35%. On the commodities, gold futures contract a short time ago was trading at 1,314, that's US per ounce, and that is up $5 from this time yesterday. Silver closed this morning at $19.92, down 20 cents. Crude oil at 97.1 US a barrel, down $1. Copper, the world's economic barometer, this morning was at 315.3 cents per pound. That is down 0.7%. And iron ore, which is important for our miners such as BHP, Rio, Atlas Iron and Fortescue, fell 1.4% at $94 US a ton. On the currencies, the Aussie dollar was giving 92.59 US cents and will exchange for 69.2 euro cents, 94.7 Japanese yen and 55.2 British pence. And these of course are intrabanks rate. The benchmark ASX 200 index jumped yesterday more than 1.3% to 5,530. That's over 70 points. Amongst the leading stocks, the best performer was Leighton Holdings, up 3.8%. The worst performer was Woolworths, down 0.4%. On the local news today, we have results coming from the CBA, Computershare, Car Sales, Echo Entertainment, Goodman Fielder, Skill Group, CSL, Suncorp, Oz Mineral, and other news. On the economic side, we have the second quarter wage cost index, as well as the Westpac consumer confidence. Tonight in the US, we have the July retail sales data, as well as the July monthly budget statement. Local shares are set to open little changed ahead of a raft of local earnings I mentioned, and the SPI futures contract was up just 4 points, indicating a flat start to the market. Then we move on with what we present to our subscribers. We have here various announcements that is coming from the local market, Europe and the US, and all these announcements can have a major bearing on the markets here and overseas. We like to show you a chart that shows the volume over the last 15 days, as well as the advances and declines. that can give you a very good perspective about how the market trend is going. We also like to show you some of the data that shows how some companies have performed the last 24 hours. We've got a company called AUG up 29% yesterday. Domino Pizza produced their results, very good results, and the market pushed Domino by nearly 13.5%. Leighton Holdings was up 3.8%, and you can see the rest on your screen. It gives you incentive to perhaps seek some more information about these companies, and perhaps you want to trade them. At the bottom section of this table, we also show most active by volume. Telstra is always on the top. Whether it's up or down, it's always with high volume. It's a very popular stock that people trade regularly. We've got Telstra up nearly 1% yesterday, nearly 5 cents, and the rest is on the screen. We also like to show you how the sectors have performed, and you can see here that all the sectors, and there are no red ink on this chart. It means that yesterday all the sectors were up. Going through the list, and we're looking at for the net change in percentage, we try to spot the best performer, which is of course the small ordinaries. Small stocks were actually up by 2%. So there are a lot of incentive to get into the market and look for some bargains at the low end of the market. Beyond the small ordinaries, we've got going up the list 1.7, that looks 1.74 is the industrial, followed by the healthcare, nearly 1.7%. Alright, we believe that that's very important. What you see in the blue here, it tells you within the range of trading yesterday at what point it finished. So if you look at, for instance, consumer discretionary was up 1.6%, and it closed on the highest point of the day. That's from the low, 100% above it. So it really gives you also the strength of the rise, not just the rise but also the strength. We also take a particular chart from Bloomberg, and here we show you the 10 companies that have performed well and the 10 that have not. And you can see here that Domino Pizza Enterprise was up nearly 13%, Bradken 7.4%, Linus 6.9%, and so on. On the downside, we've got Pacific Brands and JB Hi-Fi nearly 2% down, and you can see go up the range all the way to BC Iron, which was down 0.3%. On the weekend, we put this table that really shows what happened over the last 2 weeks. So we don't like just to see what happened over one day, but we like to see a bigger picture, and this table tells you exactly what happened over the last 2 weeks. At the last weekend, we update this table on the weekend only. So you can see that the Dow Jones over the last 2 weeks was actually down 2.4%. But you will probably know that it has really recovered quite a bit of that in the last couple of days. Gold, on the other hand, over the last 2 weeks was down 0.2%. Again, a perspective over longer term. And on the local market, you see here that the All Ordinaries over the last 2 weeks at the last weekend was down 2.6%, consumer discretionary 3%, and so on. On the company side, you can see on the blue the best performers were actually Newcrest Mines, nearly 4.5% over the last 2 weeks. And on the downside, we've got QBE down 9.4% over the last 2 weeks. Alright, well, lastly, we show you the ex-dividend dates. And you can go down the list. Today, the 13th of August, Rio Tinto will be producing its ex-date, and we'll show you the data here. So if you're a Rio Tinto shareholder, you're entitled to get $1.03, 103 cents today, and that is 2.2% dividend yield, and sorry, excuse me, that 3.36 3.36 yield. And that, by the way, that's the interim result, or that's the interim dividend. Of course, most shares pay 2 dividends per annum. What else we've got here tomorrow? We've got advanced share registry, then the EDI the day after, and so on. We update this table regularly. Alright, who I am? Well, I'm the director here at FS Securities. I've got a lot of experience in my behind me and a few academic qualification. My ambition today is to actually share all my knowledge with my clients and prospective clients. And if you wish to talk to us, the phone number will be provided to you, so you can call us. Lastly, who we are? We're a stockbroking firm. We're fully licensed. We're also financial planners. We trade equities, options, commodities, CFDs, futures, and foreign exchange. We offer an attractive interest rate bearing, 7% for 1 year, interest paid monthly, and 9% over 3 years, interest paid monthly as well. So we are, as I mentioned, fully licensed as well as financial planners. How to reach us? Well, the phone number here is actually 61, that's the landline, 7 for Queensland, 56304141. My mobile phone number is available for you to contact me 7 days a week when I'm available, and email there to write to us. And finally, the website is shown, and you have 15-day free trial that you can actually join us as a member, and you can see everything that we provide, from recommendations, daily scans. We show you our results. We also show you all the full education, the tutorials, and everything that you want to know about us. Finally, that's all from us here at FS Securities. Remember to trade safely and wisely, and I'll be back again at 1:15 to tell you what happened during the morning, and that will be recorded and placed on the website. So have a nice day.